Raiders fans, let's dive into some of the buzz that's been flying around lately, because the chatter isn't slowing down anytime soon. Everywhere you look, social media is lighting up with opinions, debates, and yes, a fair share of misunderstandings about what's really happening on the field with the Las Vegas Raiders. Today, I want to break down some of the hottest stories and rumors and give you a clear perspective on what makes sense and what deserves to be, well, tucked away. Let's start with the name that keeps coming up more than any other, Ashton Gentry. Now, I've seen a lot of people quick to label Gentry as a bust after just one game. One touchdown, a few limited plays, and suddenly he's the scapegoat for the team's struggles. But if you actually watch the game, the story looks very different. The numbers don't lie. He rushed for 38 yards in total. But what's more impressive is that he gained 44 yards after contact. Think about that for a second. More yards after being hit than before. That's a level of physical toughness and tenacity that rarely gets noticed when you're just skimming a box score. It tells you everything you need to know about his potential. If you're out there blaming Gentry for a lack of production without acknowledging the offensive line and the chaotic conditions he was running in, you're missing the full picture. And let's not ignore the weather factor. We're talking wet, rainy conditions where blitzes are coming from every angle. You expect a rookie running back to dominate in that scenario? It's unrealistic. Gentry isn't just running the ball. He's protecting the quarterback, facing defensive ends and linebackers barreling through the line, and still managing to make something happen. Yes, he can improve as a pass blocker. Yes, he can sharpen his reads in the passing game. But to immediately call him a failure after week one? That's not analysis. That's lazy commentary. And yet, that's exactly what some outlets are doing. You see articles stating he was ineffective in the passing attack, struggled as a pass protector, and didn't live up to his draft pedigree. Sure, the PFF grades might reflect some room for improvement, but context matters. One game, in one of the toughest conditions you could ask for, does not define a career. We're talking about a young player drafted 6th overall with the physical tools, skill set, and mindset to become a bell cow back if developed properly. The mistakes in these early analyses come down to one thing. They didn't watch the game. They didn't consider the nuances. And that's frustrating for fans who actually care about what's happening on the field. Moving on from Gentry, let's talk about the broader perception of the Raiders as a team. Another narrative floating around is that Las Vegas is somehow the worst team in the AFC West. Let's be honest here. The division has some tough competition, but the worst team label doesn't hold up when you break it down. Quarterback play is the ultimate differentiator in this league. You look at the Broncos, and yes, they have a strong defensive unit, but their quarterback situation is a liability. Without a capable signal caller, all the defensive prowess in the world can't carry a team to consistent wins. Meanwhile, the Raiders have Geno Smith, who has shown the ability to manage games, push the ball downfield, and create opportunities for the offense. It's not perfect yet, but labeling the team as the worst in the division at this point is premature. And speaking of quarterbacks, comparisons within the division highlight just how crucial this position is. Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, they're elite talents. Geno Smith is far from them, but he's competent. Bo Nix, on the other hand, is not close to that level. That's why, when evaluating team strength, you can't just look at record or box scores. You have to weigh the quarterback's influence on every single play. A strong defense can only do so much if the quarterback can't execute consistently. Now, let's shift gears to some rumors surrounding potential roster moves. The Raiders have been linked to veteran wide receivers, with Tyler Boyd's name coming up repeatedly. And sure, it's worth considering, because adding experience at the position makes sense in theory. The team has shown interest in veterans before, and the slot receiver role is always in demand. But here's the catch. Do we really need another slot guy? The offense is being built around versatility, stretch threats, and reliable outside options. If we're bringing in a veteran, it makes more sense to target someone who can operate both inside and outside, someone who can create mismatches downfield and complement the existing core. Looking beyond Boyd, names like Robert Woods start to make more sense. A proven player who has been active in practice squads, keeping up with reps, and bringing a level of consistency that can translate immediately to game situations. Experience, health, and familiarity with NFL systems are critical. You don't want to gamble on a veteran whose preparation and football conditioning might be in question. Geno Smith's offense demands reliability, and the goal should be to strengthen the roster with players who can contribute right away. Meanwhile, the Raiders' offseason approach has been interesting. They're not chasing big-name signings just for the sake of headlines. There's a focus on sustainable depth, players who fit the system, and potential contributors who may not be household names yet. Defensive backs and lesser-known receivers are being evaluated carefully, and the coaching staff has a keen eye for connections and development. It's a strategic approach, balancing risk and reward, and it's easy to overlook if you're just scanning Twitter rumors or sensationalized articles. So when we talk about these rumors, Gentry's performance, or the team's standing in the division, it all comes down to understanding context. Watching the tape, considering conditions, evaluating roster construction, and weighing the quarterback's role. These are the things that separate informed fans from the ones swept up in clickbait narratives. It's not about blind optimism. It's about being precise, aware, and engaged with the game at a deeper level. And for Raiders Nation, that level of insight is what keeps us ahead, not just reacting to every headline or box score. The buzz around wide receivers, the skepticism around young running backs, and the division rankings are all part of a larger picture. One game does not define a player. One article does not define a team. And one season, no matter how unpredictable, will be full of surprises if we pay attention to the details and trust the process. The Raiders are building, evolving, and adapting. Players like Gentry, Geno Smith, and the potential new additions are pieces of a larger puzzle that, if assembled correctly, can compete with the best in the division. And while everyone loves to speculate, the reality is that informed analysis beats hot takes every single time. It's about looking past the surface numbers, understanding situational performance, and appreciating the nuances of each game. From weather conditions to blocking assignments, from quarterback reads to receiver routes, every detail matters. And that's why we can't just accept the bust label for Ashton Gentry or the worst team label for the Raiders without questioning it. There's far more going on than a headline or a tweet can ever convey. Now, let's dive deeper into the wide receiver situation, because this is where things start to get really interesting for the Raiders. After the offseason and the roster moves we've seen, there's a clear strategy emerging. The team isn't just chasing big names for headlines. They're looking for players who fill specific needs, players who can immediately impact the field while also complementing the core of the offense. One name that keeps coming up is Tyler Boyd. Fans have been buzzing about him, and it's easy to see why. Boyd is a proven slot receiver with experience in the NFL, someone who knows how to run crisp routes and find soft spots in coverage. But here's the thing. The Raiders already have depth at the slot position. Jacoby Myers, along with the developing talent behind him, already occupy much of that role. Adding another slot receiver might not solve the team's biggest challenges, and it could even create redundancy instead of versatility. When evaluating potential additions, we have to think about fit, versatility, and readiness. A veteran like Boyd is attractive because of his experience, but there's also the question of football shape and game readiness. Being in shape in the gym doesn't always translate to being in shape for the field, especially in a fast-paced, high-pressure offense like the one the Raiders are running. Geno Smith is throwing the ball downfield at a high rate, making reads, and creating opportunities for multiple targets. Any new addition needs to be able to step in without missing a beat, someone who can handle the speed and physicality of NFL game play from day one. That's where names like Robert Woods start to make a lot more sense. Woods has been on practice squads, actively participating in reps, and staying engaged with the game week in and week out. He's reliable, experienced, and versatile enough to play both outside and inside, which is exactly the type of skill set the Raiders need if they're looking to strengthen the passing game. The connection with coaching staff is also a major factor. Pete Carroll's history with Woods at USC creates a familiarity that could make the transition smoother and more predictable. It's one thing to bring in a veteran who can run routes. It's another to bring in a player who can immediately integrate into the system communicate effectively with the quarterback, and understand the nuances of the offensive scheme. There's also the factor of past lessons. The Raiders' experience with Amari Cooper shows that flashy signings don't always yield results. Even proven talent can fail to meet expectations if the fit isn't right, if health or preparation isn't optimal, or if the system doesn't play to their strengths. That's why the Raiders appear to be looking for more calculated additions this time. Players who are steady, available, and capable of making an impact without a steep learning curve. Reliability and readiness are priorities, not just star power. For Raiders fans, this means keeping a close eye on moves, understanding context, and appreciating the thought process behind each potential addition. Every signing, every workout, and every roster decision is part of building a team that can thrive in the AFC West and beyond. The attention to detail, from evaluating player readiness to analyzing system fit, is what separates informed fans from those caught up in hype or surface-level analysis. And as we watch these developments unfold, it's clear that the Raiders are focused on building a balanced, adaptable, and competitive team. One that can capitalize on the talent they already have while supplementing it with strategic, high-impact additions. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In what could be one of the most unexpected moves of the NFL offseason, the Las Vegas Raiders have reportedly set their sights on Canadian sensation Chuba Hubbard, currently dazzling fans with the Carolina Panthers. The rumor, which has sent shockwaves through social media and sports talk shows alike, suggests that the Raiders are ready to make a bold splash by acquiring the rising star running back. Sources close to the matter hint that negotiations have been quietly underway, and while nothing is official yet, the mere whisper of Hubbard potentially donning silver and black has ignited a frenzy among fans and pundits. Hubbard, who has steadily built a reputation as one of the most dynamic young backs in the league, brings a unique combination of speed, vision, and versatility that could perfectly complement the Raiders' offensive schemes. Known for his ability to make defenders miss in the open field and contribute as a receiving option out of the backfield, Hubbard has consistently demonstrated that he can carry the load in both high-pressure games and on special teams. If the rumor holds any weight, it could signal a new era of ambition for the Raiders, who have been looking to solidify their running game and inject fresh energy into a roster hungry for playoff success. Fans are already buzzing with speculation. Could Hubbard's arrival change the trajectory of Las Vegas offense? Will he become the new centerpiece that gives the Raiders the explosiveness they've been missing in recent seasons? Analysts are quick to point out that while trades of this magnitude are rarely simple, the Raiders have shown a willingness to take calculated risks in pursuit of talent. Chuba's Canadian roots add an intriguing storyline, too, as the NFL continues to see more international stars making an impact on the league. While neither team has confirmed any deal, the chatter alone has created an electric atmosphere in both fan bases. Social media platforms are flooded with highlight reels, mock jerseys, and heated debates about how Hubbard would fit into the silver and black. The rumor also raises questions about the Panthers' plans. Are they prepared to part ways with a player many see as central to their future, or is this just another piece of NFL gossip designed to stir the pot? As the NFL rumor mill churns, one thing is certain. If Chuba Hubbard really is headed to Las Vegas, the Raiders may have just pulled off a headline-grabbing move that could redefine their season. Until official word comes, fans will continue to speculate, debate, and dream about what could be the most surprising signing of the year. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.